Binary Star smiles. He smiles the way I have seen 1,000 times among every billboard, poster, magazine. Goodbye, Moth. A flash of red, a surge of pain. Everything goes black. And then, nothing. Hey all you cool creatures. I'm Cryptid. Welcome to the Cryptid Plays YouTube channel. And today we are continuing Binary Star Hero. Last time, if you recall, Double came back into our life, and so we decided we needed to run away again. So after giving our resignation to Haley, we leave and then aliens attack. And we find out that Ray is none other than Binary Star during the alien attack. And with our mind blown by that information, we need to get away for a bit and we end up getting abducted by Double. Afterwards, Ray comes and saves us and massacres all of the henchmen, with Double getting away, and then Ray keeps us confined in our apartment with the excuse that Double is still out there. Now, I think I'm going to try and get all of the endings in this video. I don't think that's going to be too much. And because I'm going to be continuing from a loaded save rather than from the start screen, I will read the warnings out to you. In fact, I saved a picture of them, so give me one sec. Here we are. This game, Binary Star Hero, contains content and themes that may be disturbing to the player. This game is only to be played by players 18 years of age or older. Binary Star Hero will or may contain the following: descriptions of violence, possible player character death, bloody imagery, descriptions of gore, blood, murder, self-destructive behavior, threats of violence, mentions of toxic/abusive relationships, depictions of abusive relationships, possibly sexually suggestive situations, explicit language, mentions of suicidal ideation, mentions of drug or alcohol usage, false imprisonment. By continuing past this screen, you are agreeing to have read all of the above content warnings and are taking responsibility for your own media consumption. So, viewer discretion is advised. I will be censoring some dialogue. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. Get some sleep, Star. I'll watch over you until my shift. When I wake up in the next morning, Ray is nowhere to be found. I stretch and get up. I spot a note on the bedside table. I left some breakfast for you in the fridge. Feel free to heat that up and eat it. Please refrain from going outside. If you have to, call me first. Rest up, Moth. I'll see you again tonight. I spend most of the day sitting around reading and flipping through TV. There was a special showing on Heroes. Despite Binary Star being rated top hero, there wasn't actually much information about him. His parents died when he was young, and so he was taken in by a top hero at the time, Steel Sheriff. Steel Sheriff lovingly raised him as a normal boy, also training him into the hero that we now know today. I decided to search Steel Sheriff on the internet to learn more about him. 10 reasons why Steel Sheriff is a true Golden Age hero. Steel Sheriff is reaching his 60s, but even in retirement, he isn't slowing down. All of the top results were articles that felt very PR-driven. I decided to check social media to get a better understanding of common opinion. The first result that appeared was a thread from a couple of weeks ago that amassed 120,000 likes. Thread: Steel Sheriff got away with everything. We should be talking about it. Oh no, what did he get away with? What did he do? I click in the thread and start to read. During the golden age of heroes in the 80s, Steel Sheriff was quite popular. Now he seems to be living remotely and out of the spotlight as his name has been steeped in controversy. The thread was long, but essentially it boiled down to a gross misuse of power. Steel Sheriff has been accused of many sexual assaults, and worse. Oh boy. Not only that, but he seems to have been blatantly homophobic and misogynistic in the past. Oh boy. Well, I would say, in spite of how odd Ray seems, he definitely sounds like a slightly better person than this man. After retirement, he spiraled into alcoholism and lives in a remote area of Oklahoma. Nobody sees much of him anymore, but his 60th birthday coming up has reignited feelings about him amongst the populace. I can't help but to wonder how having someone like that as a caretaker may have impacted Ray. Apparently, Ray never had any brothers or sisters, so after his parents passed, Steel Sheriff was the only one that Ray could call family. I wonder how Ray feels about him. I decide to shake the weird feeling and change the channel. It lands on the news. Across the screen shows some heroes fighting an alien. I watch the live news segment, but I don't catch the familiar flash of blue, blonde, and red. I thought Ray said he had work today, but he has also mentioned that he is looking for double, so that might be what he meant. Unless it's something else. You never know. I try and shrug off the suspicion. I'm sure heroes also have assignments that aren't in the public eye. While scrolling on social media, I see someone talking about fanfiction writing tips. I wonder if Ray has fanfiction about him. Oh god, I bet he does. That would be real person fiction in this universe. I search up some fanfictions of Binary Star. Most of them were admittedly great portrayals of Binary Star that is shown in the media. I can't help to laugh to myself at the difference between the fan portrayal of Binary Star and how Ray actually acts. Oh no, we get a chance to read some fanfiction here, I see. As the nightclub continued around them, Binary Star leaned in closer, his voice becoming softer. YN, your smile has the power to ignite a light within me. A light that burns brighter than any danger I face. I have fallen deeply in love with you. Oh my god. For those of you unfamiliar with the YN fiction, which basically tends to pertain to reader and character stuff, which I don't really read because I'm not into it, but that means your name, so just, you know, I don't know who watching this is unfamiliar with it, but I wanted to bring that up. YN's breath caught in her throat as she stared into Binary Star's mesmerizing red eyes. A wave of emotions washed over her, threatened to pull her to sea, and she found herself unable to form words. Instead, she expressed her feelings through a heartfelt smile that mirrored his own. Oh god, this is cheesy. YN's heart soared at his words, her eyes shining with unspoken affection. She felt a deep connection with Binary Star, one that extended beyond his heroic persona. I scrolled past a couple of chapters of the lovey-dovey stuff to find the risque parts. Binary Star looks down at me with lust draped across his ruby eyes. His formed chest heaved in lusty promises. YN, I need you more than light itself. Ever since I saw you at that club dancing your worries away, I knew I needed you desperately. I will save the world over and over just to have your body once. Wow, I could not imagine any people talking like this, but okay. He places a deep, needy kiss onto my lips, hands following the dips and curves across my body. I can't suppress a moan. Binary Star gives me a bright smile. Don't worry, I will treat your body with care, dear YN. Just like when I saved the bridge from collapsing. I laugh out loud. I wonder if the inconsistency in characters because nobody really knows how Binary Star would react to being aroused. Every word makes me laugh, as I can't help imagining Ray saying these ridiculous lines. Oh my god, could you imagine? Time flies by as I become absorbed in Binary Star fan fiction. We're bold to be reading this when we know Ray is going to be coming back to our house. Well, apartment, whatever. The door sounds and Ray enters through my apartment door. After walking in, he pauses, giving me a curious look. You look like you are up to no good, Moth. He looks tired, smelling a bit like smoke. You aren't in your hero uniform? I didn't do any frontline hero work today, just some paperwork. I hop up, approaching him. You smell like smoke. Oh, do I? Sorry. There was a fire nearby the office. It must have settled in my hair. Mind if I take a shower here? Sure, you know where the towels are. Thanks. Ray showers and the smell of soap fills up the apartment. I put on some music and open up the window to let some fresh air in. I think back to the news on the TV earlier today. It is a little weird that a building fire wasn't featured. I think there's something that he is hiding from us. Ray gets out of the shower, drying his hair off with a towel. Ray, I think I'm going a little stir crazy. I don't know how much more time I'll be able to stay cooped up inside. Ray grimaces. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just worried that something will happen to you and I won't be able to find you. I was actually thinking, in the meantime, until we find Double, would you move in with me? My place is larger, so you can move around a bit more. It also has better security, so you won't have to feel worried about staying here. I chew on my lip. I don't know. That's kinda sudden. He pats my head. I guess that was a bit sudden. Sorry. Maybe just think about it. I don't think it's very safe for you here. As long as Double is around and knows where you live, there's a chance that he can come get you at any time. And honestly, that scares me. Moth, there isn't much time. Ray's phone buzzes. Sorry, I have to take this. He picks it up, leaving my apartment. My heart can't stop pounding at his offer. What the hell? That was so sudden. He isn't wrong that I am in a very worrying position, but abandoning my apartment to move in with him seems extreme. After half an hour or so on the phone, I can hear the front door close. Ray returns inside. Sorry, some work stuff. No worries. Have you eaten yet? I shake my head. Not yet. Can I make you something? What? You do not have to cook me a meal in my own apartment. I don't mind. He walks towards the small kitchenette. To be honest, I enjoy cooking. I don't get a lot of opportunities to cook for someone else. So, I'd like to if that's okay with you. I guess so. I just feel bad. I should be cooking for you. Ray gives me a little smirk. I'm not sure if I'd trust your cooking. You act like I'd poison you. I'm impervious to poison, so you wouldn't do any damage to me with that method. You say that as if I can do damage to you in other ways. Ray just smiles as he starts to chop up some vegetables. I watch him in the kitchen as my music plays in the background. He was surprisingly skilled at cooking. Soon enough, dinner was made and I sit down at the table with Ray. The veggie pasta smells delicious. Wow, Ray. He looks proud of his work. Dive in. I mumble a thanks for the meal and start eating. Wow! Ray laughs. The pasta was incredibly good. If you have any preferences, let me know. I can cook just about anything. This is so good. I'd be happy with this again. Noted. I make quick work of dinner, not realizing how hungry I got. After dinner, I tried to do the dishes, but Ray ended up helping anyways. It was a strange feeling, living together, even though we technically weren't. When cleanup was done, we sat and chatted about various things. My place does have a pretty large kitchen, and it does feel like a shame not to use it. so I try to make the most of it. I level a look at Ray. What? I'm still surprised you can cook so well. I have other skills outside of saving citizens in distress, you know. I read about some of your skills earlier today. Oh my god. I joke. Ray gives me a skeptical look. You don't want to know, buddy. Is that right? I pick up my phone and click on a random binary star fanfiction I was reading earlier. Why are we doing this? When Binary Star looked at you from across the club with his ruby red eyes, you felt undressed on the spot. I love how Ray's expression just changed. He grabs your hand, taking you to the quieter hallway where he pushes you against the wall, his plush lips encapsulating your own. Binary Star pulls back, heat in his eyes. Heroes have to blow off some steam too, and you look like just the citizen to help. He whispers huskily. My thoughts exactly. What the hell? Ray walks over, standing over me. Why are we putting him through this? I hand him my phone and he starts to look, his eyes widening at the increasingly graphic nature of the fanfiction. My lord. Wow, Ray. Pretty bold of you. In public, at a nightclub too. Ray glances up at the phone with a skeptical look. Did you write this? God, no. I don't think we would ever. I wouldn't. No, it's fan fiction. There are thousands of these. Why did you have to introduce him to this? This is pure torture. A smirk appears on Ray's lips. He leans closer, towering over me. Is this the kind of stuff you like, Moth? A dangerous smile stretches across his face. Do you want me to drag you to the back of a club and take you all for myself while covering your mouth so others don't hear as you desperately moan my name? My teasing has fully backfired. He is blushing too, isn't he? It looks like he is. I'm blushing. I would be so embarrassed at this. Ray gives a look of warning. My face heats up and I scoot back as I'm sure he can hear my heartbeat from where I sit. No, I just thought it was funny. Ray shrugs. Too bad. Let me know if you change your mind. Too bad? Ray saunters off to the window to light a cigarette, per usual. I am unable to look him in the eye, and I hear him chuckle. I get up and get ready to go to sleep. I lay down in the bed, hyper aware of Ray's presence, but he stands, looking out the window. With Ray watching over me, I am able to slowly drift off to sleep. I I wake up in the middle of the night. Ray's lowered voice bounces off the walls softly. Yeah, I did it. What else do you want me to say? So, what are you going to do? Actually, let me rephrase that. What can you do? No, I'd rethink that if I were you. If you want to put me on trial, the reputation of your best hero is tarnished. You can fire me if you want. I'd gladly take the vacation. See, nothing else you can do. What now? Well, I'd recommend you keep a leash on your other heroes. Keep them the hell away from my personal life. Frankly, I'd recommend that for any of you. We both know what I'm capable of, and I'm no longer satisfied with playing nice. Ray glances at me and I shut my eyes to pretend I'm asleep, except he can read our thoughts, so... I'm unsure if he saw me looking at him, but he walks over and sits near me on the edge of the bed. He pats my head softly. He must have thought I was tossing and turning. After my breathing evens, he continues to talk on the phone. I look forward to watching the NAHA actually do their freaking job. For once. Please be my guest. Tell Herschel. There isn't anything he can do either. Then you better contact risk management. There's nothing the NAHA can do to make me back down. I'm getting what I want, and frankly, as far as I'm concerned, everything else can burn. That's about all I have to say regarding that. Last thing, I'm going to be late getting to work tomorrow. Ray glances at me. I have decided to sleep in. Good night. Ray hangs up the phone. He gazes down at me, his thumb tracing the features of my face. Well, I can definitely say he's at least not normal about his feelings, for sure. Did I wake you up? I open my eyes slowly. The moonlight blankets Ray like a halo, giving him an ethereal glimmer. I shake my head slowly. A ghost of a smirk appears on his face. You're a good liar, Moth. Is everything okay? Ray gets into bed next to me, his familiar warmth comforting. He runs his fingers down my cheek, leaning in. You don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of everything. Go back to sleep. I nod and lay my head back down. Soon everything fades into a familiar darkness. The soft sound of footsteps wake me up. My eyes flutter open to the sunlight peeking through the windows. How early is it? It's 8 a.m. Ah, Ray! I whip my head over to Ray, who stands there, looking surprised. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. No, it's okay. You just usually aren't here in the mornings. Ray gives a wry smile. You make me sound like a bad hookup or something. Do you want me to do the walk of shame or something? No. Though I'm sure you could do a pretty good walk of shame. Ray laughs. Wow, what do you take me for? I do have to leave for work soon, though. Do you mind if I shower here before leaving? No, go for it. Don't worry, I'll be out of your hair soon. He retreats into the bathroom. I eye his duffel bag that he always brings with him. I know it isn't a nice thing to do, but after everything that has been going on, I can hardly be blamed for being a little skeptical. I can't disregard what I saw in that warehouse. I can't disregard what was spoken about on the phone last night. I can't disregard my safety by having him be around my apartment so often without knowing if he is dangerous or not. Oh no, he's dangerous. If the warehouse told us anything, it is that. I first poke at his duffel bag. Then I slowly open it. Inside were some changes of clothing, just a sweatshirt and some jeans. I smell them, but nothing seems off. They smell like Ray, slightly of pine and toasted sugar. While I am digging around in his clothing, I accidentally shake loose a carton of cigarettes. I would probably need some stress relief if a whole city relied on me, too. I feel something hard in a pocket. That looks like a pen I used to have. Uh-oh. There isn't much in his duffel bag. Some clothing, a notebook, some keys, a couple of phones. I hear a bump in the shower and realize I probably don't have too much more time to snoop. Okay, so I'm actually going to get both of these. I don't think it has any bearing on the ending, so we're just going to get a chance to snoop. Notebook first. I glance at a small notebook. It seemed like an odd thing to carry for a superhero. I flip it open. On the pages, there are small drawings of different planets and notes. The drawings and notes go on for pages and pages. Something about the handwriting feels off to me. To confirm my suspicion, I hop up to my nightstand. I open the nightstand, grabbing the coffee sleeve from Ray I have kept. My suspicions were correct. The handwriting on the coffee sleeve and the handwriting from the first good chunk of pages in the notebook are not similar at all. As the pages continue, the handwriting gets closer to the handwriting that is on the sleeve. Is this all Ray, or is this someone else too? The drawings on the pages always looked a bit childish, never seeming to change. The pages near the end trail off. A chunk of pages are missing. The final page has an image of two spheres and the words, "We orbit around each other." As I am returning everything to the duffel bag, a wallet tumbles out, flopping against the floor. Okay, we are going to go get the other choice real quick. Alright, what's in the phone? I tap on one of his phones in the duffel bag. It's password protected, but I can read a couple of the newest text messages. None of the texts come from saved numbers. I expand the first message. "Hey BS, this is Mist. Got your number from Chandra. I texted you last week, but you never responded. Can you please consider talking to Herschel for me?" The second message comes from the same number. "Look, I know I screwed up. It won't happen again. The family took the shut up money and signed an NDA. So if you vouch for me, I promise it won't come back to bite you." While I was reading the second message from this missed person, a new message appeared onto the screen. Need to talk about your recent performance. I have been informed of actions inappropriate by the standards of the NAHA. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, Herschel. While trying to close out, I accidentally hit the reply button on the message from Herschel. Oh no, that's bad. I should have just closed out immediately, but part of me wanted to see what would happen if I respond. Why would we do that? Respond with something flirty. I snickered to myself, typing up a response. Why are we like this? I'll show you some real inappropriate actions by the standards of the NAHA. Wink. A response comes almost immediately. If that is a threat, we will not respond lightly. Herschel. My attempt at flirtation has flown far over Herschel's head and into dangerous territory. I become determined, and I won't respond lightly to that sexy little body of yours, Herschel. I cover my mouth to keep myself from laughing out loud as the typing indicator begins and stops multiple times. Herschel must really be confused. Finally, a text comes through. Did you drink drain cleaner? Take a gunshot to the head? Sober up. 8 a.m. tomorrow, Herschel. Herschel was certified no fun at all. I put Ray's phone away. Alright, let's respond no. I type and send a simple no. It only takes a few moments for this person named Herschel to respond. Don't play this game, Ray. We will not respond lightly. Herschel. Suddenly, another text comes in with a long set of numbers. What the? The realization hits me. Herschel has sent me coordinates. I don't even waste time verifying that they are my coordinates before responding back. Sorry, it was a joke. Of course I'll be there. Smile. Herschel takes a few seconds to respond. Alright, now let's get the other two. Yes. I quickly type something simple. The person named Herschel responds back with a thumbs up emoji. Something gave me the feeling that this man Herschel wasn't necessarily technologically literate. I close out of the text message and put the phone away. And what happens if we just don't respond? No, I shouldn't respond. I closed out of the text, deciding it wasn't worth it to respond. Ray might find out and get upset. I put the phone away. As I am returning everything to the duffel bag, a wallet tumbles out, flopping against the floor. A square paper slides out of the wallet as it hits the ground. I snag it off the ground, opening the wallet to put it back inside. As I flip around the small square, my hand pauses. My heart threatens to leap from my chest. On the small square that was tucked inside of the wallet was a very familiar view. One I saw when looking into the mirror. A view of myself around 3 years ago. Oh no! He knows. He knew we were a villain. It's me in my villain outfit. Petting a cat? As the shower shuts off, I am jolted back to reality. I shove the picture back inside of the wallet and bury it back into the bag, zipping it up just how it was before. I lay myself casually onto the bed, pretending to read a book that has been sitting on my nightstand for over a month at this point. A couple of minutes later of pretend reading, Ray exits the restroom. He approaches and leans against the wall where he usually does, by the window. This time, instead of smoking a cigarette, he is fully focused on me. His intense look makes me squirm. There is something distant, disconnected about his eyes. Oh, yeah, we should have figured he'd know. He can read minds. So, you were digging through my stuff for something? Going through my phone, huh? You are a nosy little thing. Kinda an invasion of privacy, don't you think? Despite him saying those things, his tone seemed more teasing than serious. Ray levels a look at me. It seems like you are unnerved by me on some level. That you don't trust me. He pushes himself off the wall and walks towards me. So ask me whatever you want. If you ask, I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know, Moth? Ooh. I think the top one gives relationship points with him. Well, I'm just gonna go with how did you get your abilities? I recall what Luke Blaze told me a couple days ago. Ask Ray how he got his abilities. I look up at Ray, and he looks back with a slightly stressed expression on his face. He knows what I have thought. Tell me, Ray. His lips tighten, and he works a hand through his hair. His body is tense, and he glances back at me. He looks very unhappy. Ray, you said anything. I know. Ray. Fuck. He curses under his breath. I narrow my eyes. What's your ability, Ray? He looks at me directly, his eyes so deeply black they might just swallow me whole. Even the room feels a bit dimmer due to his pressure. They call me Binary Star. Why? Because you shine so brightly against the evil of night? Ray lets out a sound, somewhere between a scoff and a laugh. If only that was the case, Star. What are binary stars? Is this a silence lesson or something? Ray stares down at me with an immovable expression. He is clearly not in the mood for jokes. A solar system where there are 2 stars? In a binary system, there's a primary star and a secondary star. Depending on their orbit, they can be classified as wide binaries and close binaries. I'm unsure where this is going, but the tone of Ray's voice keeps me from speaking. In a close binary, mass can be transferred between the 2. The primary star can exert gravitational force strong enough to pull in the smaller star, cannibalizing it completely. A silence settles between the 2 of us, an understanding that leaves me queasy. I am said to be the hero with countless abilities, but in reality, my ability is just one. Oh, he's absorbed other abilities. That's creepy, actually. To pull in smaller stars and devour them whole. Every ability I have, I killed for. Criminals, villains, civilians, even other heroes. Some were forced upon me. Others were of my own volition. My stomach sinks. It's not out of the question that he would be able to slaughter people so easily. After all, I witnessed it myself. But some part of me felt disturbed. I won't deny what I am, Moth. Luke was right. I am a monster. I'm not a hero from the stars. I am essentially only one thing. A government-funded military weapon. Nothing can change that. Despite Ray's stony facade, I can sense some sadness in his tone. I may be a monster, but I promise I will keep you safe, if you let me. I'm not sure how to respond. Some part of me knows thank you isn't an appropriate response for the situation. Ray can sense the conflicting expressions that drift across my face. I know that was a lot. I'll let you rest. Ray gathers his stuff and leaves my apartment. When the door closes, I let go of a breath I didn't realize I was holding. I am left in silence with only my thoughts. It's obvious that Ray, or rather Binary Star, is dangerous to some extent. But when he talks about himself without the mask on, something about him just feels so lonely, distant. I sit down, thinking over the previous interaction on repeat. I spend most of the day trying to research information about Binary Star, but I can't really find anything of value. The sun is already beginning to set, and the restlessness sets in. After a while, I can't help but to do something about my complicated feelings at hand. Alright, so I think these two will most assuredly give us relationship points, so I'm gonna choose the third one. Search some information about Binary Star. I can't help but to feel uneasy about Binary Star. I decide to continue to search up some additional information about him. I look, but there truly isn't much information to be found. The information that does exist is hard to parse between fact or fiction. While searching, there are a lot of clickbaity titles about his love life or what he does in his off time. But I continue to search for real information. I finally stumble across a post that sounds different from the others. I click on it. Binary Star, the truth the Hero Association doesn't want you to know. May 15th, 6 p.m. User 49824. This is going to sound crazy. I have nothing left to live for, so I'm just going to say it. User Blanket Imp. Nobody asked. User 49824. Binary Star is human. User Blanket Imp. Didn't ask. User 49824. I'm not making this stuff up. My dad passed away last week. We were cleaning out his office and found some documents from his work. They confirmed that Binary Star was raised in a government lab. This whole time they have been training him to be a weapon of war. User Grand Mud. Dude, go touch grass. Seriously. User 49824. It worked too. Remember how the Southern War ended 16 years ago after going on for over 2 decades? It's because they dropped in Binary Star, their testimonies from the locals. Well, that is, before they were slaughtered to cover up the massacres of the heroes. At the time, Binary Star was 16 years old, and possibly massacred hundreds. As news tried to break from independent journalists about the massacres at the hands of the heroes, the NAHA debuted Binary Star that year to create distractions from the public, and it worked. User Blanket Imp, and distract you from getting some... I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, this is pretty accurate for a message board. User Grand Mud, clearly. June 17th, 10 p.m. User Grand Mud. I looked into some of this stuff and it kinda checks out. At user 49824 at Blanket Imp. I was skeptical at first, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. The more I dug, the more it checked out. Look at this image I finally found. An image appears on screen. It is of a blurry Ray in military gear. User Grand Mud. That is Binary Star. It doesn't look completely like him because they always Photoshop him in photos. But that is 100% him. There was no reason for an undercover hero to be there. User Blanket Imp is online. User Grand Mud. Unless they were cleaning up some loose ends. Some locals or journalists in hiding. User Blanket Imp. Dude, now you too. Is there a grass shortage or something? User Grand Mud. I'm serious. User Blanket Imp. Lol, K. You and user 49824 can crazy talk together. I'm logging off. Nerds. User Blanket Imp is offline. User Grand Mud. At user 49824, you online? Guess not. They might be dead. User Grand Mud is offline. July 4th, 7 p.m. User Blanket Imp. Dude. WTF, I think I'm getting paranoid. There's this van that keeps on following me. I swear to God I'm not making this stuff up. At user Grand Mud. Frick. I'm getting freaked out. Yeah, I think the other two are gone. They've been taken. User Blanket Imp is offline. I type a hello in the chat and wait a few minutes. But nobody comes online. I shut the screen off, alone with my thoughts. It's a common rumor that the Hero Association used heroes to win the Southern War. But it is literally a war crime to do so, and the heroes are only for justice. So the general populace basically wrote it off as a conspiracy theory. I swallow thickly. After seeing Binary Star casually kill all of those people in the warehouse, some part of me can't help but to think it's not a simple theory anymore. I put my computer away, starting to feel a little sick. After reading all of that, some part of me felt like I knew more but understood less of Binary Star than ever before. I start to feel exhausted. Ray isn't home, and it's already pretty late. Part of me was thankful for his absence. Despite all of the time Ray and I have spent together, I still feel like I barely knew him. Like he could flip a switch and become a total stranger. And some part of me knew I may never come to understand him. That scares me. I get into bed, resting my body against the plush blankets. My eyes close, covering me in the familiar darkness of sleep. I dream of a peculiar dream. One where Double, Haley, and myself are all heroes. We fight to defeat the ultimate villain, Binary Star. I drive a sword through his chest. He erupts into planetary dust, showering glitter all over myself. I don't feel sad, yet tears swell and pour down my face. The planet heals. It's finally over. The dust falls into sparks, and soon the earth catches fire. A wild flame licks my face and body. I can't breathe. Oh no. I'm a little worried actually that our apartment might be on fire. Help! I can't! As I dream, the smell of smoke drifts across my senses. Oh, I knew it! I knew it! I cough a bit, turning over. My eyes flash open as the scent of smoke permeates the area. I immediately sit up. My whole apartment is consumed by flames. I blanch. How could it have spread this much without me waking up? I quickly stumble out of my bed. The ground is hot as flames lick the far wall. I cough as the smoke starts to get into my lungs. I can't stop coughing. This is bad. I glance around my apartment as it is doused in flames. I cough harder as I kneel over. The smoke is suffocating. I have to do something fast. Alright, so if I've done this right, these are the endings you can get without any relationship points. Go to the front door. I make a desperate crawling dash for the front door. Adrenaline shields me from the pain searing through my palms. The door is closed. I curse, reaching for it desperately. The metal handle sears my fingers, peeling the skin directly off, melting it to the doorknob. Oh. I scream in pain, body shaking. I look away from my hand, concerned that if I glance at it even for a second, bile will rise from my stomach. I shuffle back to the bed, desperately grabbing and yanking a sheet off. My lungs burn and scream from the hurried action, desperate for any semblance of clean air. I crawl desperately, my vision spotting black, brain hazy from the lack of oxygen. I fight against it as hard as I possibly can, crawling forward, the door feeling miles away. My body collapses, unable to take it anymore. Before my vision fades completely, I see a light from the doorway. Alright, let me get the others. Alright, the window. I look around. The front door is too far away and the balcony door may be too heavy for me to open. The window falls into my vision. It's already partially open. If I can leverage my body to force it open in one swoop, maybe I can then get some fresh air and jump to the neighbor's balcony. It's a risky maneuver, but I'm willing to try. I crawl towards the window. Gathering my strength, I push the windowsill upwards, careful not to fall out. Black spots cloud my vision. Instead of fresh air coming in through the opening, it seems only smoke is going out. I need to hurry. I crawl up towards the window. My lungs scream at the lack of air. I slowly and carefully make my way out of the window. I stand up, trying to get a foothold on the thin awning. I have done this 1,000 times before in my previous career, but none under such difficult circumstances. My mind feels hazy, and my knees begin to shake. I look towards the neighbor's balcony. I have to do this quickly. I have to make my leap. In all but a moment, I am soaring through the air. I'm a bit short. I grab desperately to the bottom of the balcony. I try to steady my hanging body, my arms shaking with the force. If I can just get my elbows up, I can pull the rest of my body to safety. My heart pounds as I hang on to the neighbor's balcony desperately. My lungs are screaming at the rush of fresh air as my vision obscures. My fingertips shake, the sweat making it all the more dangerous as my fingers begin to slip. I try to pull myself up, but between my shaking, overexerted arms, lungs filled with smoke, and slippery fingertips, I can't seem to hold on. My body plummets 5 stories towards the ground. I close my eyes, waiting for the collision. Suddenly, my body is slammed into the water, my fall somewhat broken by the shallow fountain below. The air is violently stolen from my lungs, and I can feel my spine and legs shatter in multiple places. I try to move, try to get up, but my body won't listen. It screams in protest. My vision obscures as my lungs still cannot find any purchase in fresh air. Please, God. I cry only to myself as my vision fades fully to black. Dying over and over again is really hard on me, but go for the balcony door. I make my way towards the balcony door. It is the closest to me, so it only takes a few seconds to get to. When I reach out to the doorknob, I can feel the heat even before touching it. I turn around, yanking a sheet off of the bed and wrap my hand in it. I try to push, but the balcony door doesn't budge. I curse under my breath. Why does it have to be jammed now of all times? I use my full body weight to push against it, but again, no dice. My vision begins to spot as my lungs desperately search for any air they can gain purchase in. I again press my body weight against the door, but it doesn't even flinch under my full pressure. My legs collapse, shaking as my vision swirls. I reach towards the door, crawling on my knees. My body heaves and coughs, unable to relieve my lungs of the soot. As my vision begins to fade, suddenly a rush of fresh air hits me. I'm disappointed in you. Binary Star looks down at me, radiant as ever. Even in these circumstances, he glows. You would really rather die than ask me to save you? Do you hate me? Are you disgusted by what you found out about me? Do you think I'm a monster too? I'm unable to answer, all of my words being swallowed by coughs and desperate, greedy gasps for the sudden influx of fresh air. You don't have to say anything. I already know you do. Binary Star smiles kindly. His words do not match his expression. I debated leaving you here, watching the life fade from your eyes, unshackling myself from humanity once and for all. But it seems I'm really struggling with that decision. So, I'll give you a chance to make that decision for me. He approaches, smiling as kind as ever. I struggle to my feet to meet the hero eye to eye. Why? I choked out between coughs. To be frank, I'm tired of being a paragon for humanity. It's clear that now even you don't see me as a hero either. You probably don't even see me as human. Not 1 ounce of affection left in your heart for me. And you are even right to think so, to do so. And I want to retire, I guess. He pauses in thought. Well, I guess retire may not be the correct word for it. He chuckles. What you experienced earlier with the alien attack was just a recon of sorts. They have many armies waiting for the word to attack. It will happen in a week or so. They will have ships, bodies, and weapons beyond our comprehension. The other heroes will only serve as special fodder for ungodly mechanisms. I could defeat them. It won't be pretty, but I could. He brushes a hand through his hair. But you see, Moth, I am having a hard time finding the will to fight for humanity, to save them. And the only thing that would make me even remotely want to. He glances downward at me, but his silence falls thick. To be honest, at this point, I'd just rather watch it all burn. Let the aliens do the hard work, and then I'll play cleanup crew. Okay, so I think I'm only locked in for his bad ending at the moment. So I'm gonna try both of these actually, but you're a hero. Binary Star looks at me in genuine surprise and laughs. Moth, if you weren't so cute, I'd feel bad for you. This is me. For so long I imagined and marveled over what worlds I could be from. A child from the stars, they called me. Imagine my disappointment that all along the star that birthed me was this planet, Earth. To a mother that would rather sell me off as a government project than miss a hit of fentanyl. Oh no. Earth was my star, a sullied, fading star, infected. He levels a look at me. His eyes look like eternity. When I am the only being sitting upon this rotting star, amongst the trees, wind, and silent northern lights, then maybe I can finally exhale. He smiles peacefully. Some part of me thought you could save me. He chuckles in a self-deprecating way. I realize I was wrong to even place that expectation on you. I am sorry for that, Moth. The Binary Star hero sheds his mask. He is Ray. Give me 1 second. I want to see what the other answer gives us. That's cruel. Humanity is cruel. And despite it all, despite the glamour, the advertisements, the campaigns, I am human. He looks at my scared, doubtful form. I know to you, to some, I probably look like a monster. And believe me when I say I desperately tried to shelter you from that. To everyone else I look like a savior. But frankly, I'm tired of wrestling with strangers' views and expectations of myself, my identity. I can't stop. I am inexorable. Only when I see the earth shatter under my force will I be forced to mourn the loss. Only as the planet scatters and drifts as a trillion glowing particles will I have to reckon with the conclusion of if I am human or monster. Some part of me thought you could save me. He chuckles in a self-deprecating way. The binary star hero sheds his mask. He is Ray. Despite it all, they are one and the same. God, this is gorgeous. He reaches his hand out towards me. Ray is shining brighter than ever, lighting up the whole room with his divine glow. Some stars are created by being ripped apart by black holes. Moth, do you want to be torn apart, shredded piece by piece, to be born whole, more bright and beautiful than ever before? Some part of me felt it wasn't necessarily a question he was posing. So I'm gonna get the bad ending, and then what I'm gonna do is get the other endings with the other characters, and then get all of Ray's endings in one go. So this is the only one that's kind of gonna be out of the little grouping of that, but still, move away from Ray. I take a step back. Fear takes hold as tears cloud my vision. Ray, please, don't. Ray looks hurt. After all of this, you will still run from me? Binary Star's face falls. The glow snuffs out like a candle. Flames fade to nothing in an instant. I am surrounded by darkness, and I am terrified. My flight instincts trigger, and I sprint towards the door. I reach for the door, desperate. I crash full force into something soft. Really, Moth? I thought you knew better than that by now. Running from someone like me. His arm traps me into the corner. I can feel his hot breath dusting my cheek. What is going through that little head of yours to think that was smart? I guess we have to do things the hard way then. In the dark, a vicious red glow begins to shine. Binary Star smiles. He smiles the way I have seen 1,000 times among every billboard, poster, magazine. Goodbye, Moth. A flash of red, a surge of pain. Everything goes black, and then nothing. True to his word, Binary Star carried forth with his plan. Within a week, an awful war broke out due to alien invasion. Within a month, all humanity ceased to exist. Within 3 months, all living creatures were torn asunder. Bodies strewn amongst trees, stones, grass, as if they were innate to the terrain. Within a year, Binary Star had grown tired, lonely. He roamed and mourned, still unable to answer the question that pressed him in, demanding a conclusion. With a last exhale, Binary Star fulfilled the final purpose he was created for, with the first gift he was ever given. He shined so bright, all of nature was forced to bow before him. And so, for the first time, amongst the deafening silence of galaxy dust, Ray finally existed, completely alone. Alright, I am tearing up a bit, but I will go get Haley and Double's endings first, and then I'm going to get the rest of Ray's endings. I will take a minute and get myself all ready for that. Alright, so as far as endings go, I think I'm gonna go through and get doubles first, just because there is less to do as far as his relationship points go. So, let's go. Alright, we're on our phone call with Double. We're upset, and we're gonna say to him, go F yourself, Double. Because for whatever reason, he likes that, so go F yourself, Double. I take all of the spite I can muster. Go screw yourself, Double. I spit out in rage. Double lets out a loud, barking laugh. Oh, Moth, you never cease to surprise me. Listen to this close. If you really want to be free, then don't let me find you, honey. Because when I do... A heavy silence blankets the call like mist. I could hear my own heartbeat echo through my ears. Double finally talks in a low and serious whisper. I'll freaking kill you. He hangs up and the line beeps. Alright, here we are again with the annoyance, Blaze. But let's just say, I'm interested. I blink, unable to stop the words from spilling from my mouth. Kindly screw off. I flash my sweetest smile. Do you mind waiting for a minute? I suppose I could donate a minute of my time to a citizen in need. I log out of the register and walk to the back. I then take off my apron in the back of the store and clock out of my shift. I see Luke leaning against the wall when I come out. Are we going now? We? Yeah, I don't think so. Do you get off on harassing minimum wage employees or something? Because frankly, it's tiring and old. I don't know what your angle is, but you can kindly screw off. Nobody gets paid enough to deal with that kind of BS. Luke looks visibly irritated. Fine. You just lost the chance that every civilian wants. I was going to light your life on fire. Have fun with your golden boy. Luke angrily takes his leave, muttering some words under his breath on the way out. I sigh, exhausted. Wow, the heck was that about? I look over my shoulder at Hals, who appeared behind me with a croissant in hand. Honestly, I have no idea. He said he was a hero and accused that new regular Ray of some ridiculous stuff. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead. No, dude. I'm telling you, Blaze is going rogue or something. I think the next one that I need to get a choice with is right in this section. Why else would Binary do that? Blaze totally is going full anti-hero. Dude, you gotta check this out. Miles is already tapping on his phone. He suddenly turns the screen towards me. At first it's kind of hard to understand what is going on, but on closer inspection, it seems as if a hero is throwing another hero off of a building. Oh my god. Don't worry too much. That guy is fine. Yeah, and get this. Before Binary grabbed his leg, Blaze said, "What are you going to do? Stop me?" And then Binary grabbed him and just dropped him off the side of the frickin' building. So badass. So it has to be something about Blaze going rogue. Why else would Binary Star do that to Blaze, a hero that was previously his sidekick for 3 years? I doubt that going rogue thing. I think the more squeaky clean a hero seems, the more skeletons they are probably hiding in their closet. What do you think, Moth? Alright, I think I just don't care is the answer for Double, so I just don't care. To be honest, I just can't be bothered to care that much. Heroes can do whatever they want. It's not like any of us can influence that. Skeletons or not. If Blaze does go rogue anti-hero or whatever, the government will definitely crack down on it. So I guess this doesn't really pertain to me in any way. I'm just one civilian, so I don't care that much. A couple of hours drift by. The sound of clanking mugs and patrons quietly conversing amongst themselves could be almost comforting. If I wasn't so damn tired. Haley walks up to the register. So I have to head out early. Are you cool to close by yourself? Yeah, no problem. I feel like I've done it a billion times at this point. Haley takes their leave. After an hour, I start to close up the store. Noticing that we are a bit low on cups, I grab some from the back to restock. While I am restocking the coffee bar shelves, I hear the door chime. Sorry, we're closed. I turn towards the sound of the door. Aw, don't be like that, honey. My blood runs cold. I whip around and he comes into view. I start to sweat. My heart pounds. I thought this place treated their customers like a family. I would say we are closer than family, though, wouldn't you agree, Cryptid? He leans on the counter. I take a step back, instinctively. Maybe you could make me a cappuccino, you know, for old time's sake. My hand shook, and I couldn't seem to get a grip. I came to get you. I instinctively backed up. Double stares down at me, his eyes emptier than ever. He watches me like a possessed man, no emotion to be found, like a shell. You look scared, Cryptid. I am unable to answer. Don't worry, for now I'm just here to see you. Double walks behind the counter and makes himself a cup of coffee. I can't run, my legs feeling stuck in place. Okay, this one is our relationship point 1. Just leave me alone. I scrape up what courage I have and level my gaze at him. Why can't you just leave me alone, Double? Double smiles. He walks over, closely leaning into my personal space. He blinks slowly, like an enamored cat. I don't want to. What? I said, I don't want to. Double reaches out, his fingers touching my cheek so lightly I could barely even feel it. You always feel like this. He mumbles, his gaze fluttering around my face. I can extend out and touch you, yet you always seem just outside of my reach. I push his hand away. Underneath his mask, he smiles. It is bitter. I'll take my leave. He grabs his cup of coffee and saunters towards the door. Double pauses, looking back. But remember, next time I'm taking you with me. My stomach drops. As soon as Double leaves, I run in to lock the door. Alright, we're on our walk. We're about to get abducted because we are freaking out over Ray being Binary Star. This situation is just so freaking weird. What situation? As I look up, I only get a glance at his face before being knocked out cold. I soon wake up to the sound of dripping water. This is not my apartment. I jolt awake, whipping my head around desperately. The scenery of a concrete warehouse graces my vision. I tried to scream, but the cloth gag prevented me. Classic. As if being summoned by my thoughts, Double walks up, crouching in front of me. Wakey, wakey, cryptid. He grabs my face, jostling it back and forth lightly. Aw, don't look so spiteful. You're going to make me feel hurt. I yank at my ties, but they're so tight that I don't even think I could slip out of them. Double winks as if reading my mind. Reinforced, just for you. And you think I don't know you. Let's face it, Moth. Nobody knows you better than I do. Nobody. Double pulls out a knife and my blood runs cold. So I'd like to ask you to stay put, hey? Alright. Being defiant is apparently the way to go, so stare at defiantly. I stare at Double in defiance. Oh, look at you. He grabs my face between his index and thumb, jostling me lightly. You are so freaking cute. This is why I just had to have you back all to myself, Moth. When you glare like that, I just know I can't give you up to anyone else. He sighs in an almost dreamlike way. His smile is genuine, as if he is truly having fun. Freaking psycho. Though I'm not sure if our crew will be able to forgive you. I look up, noticing the 20 or so henchmen that surround Double. I spot Ripley, but he refuses to make eye contact with me. You see, my men here want to rip your throat out. Do some lasting damage. You betrayed us, Cryptid. He spits my old alias out of his mouth, as if it were the remains of a chewed-up sunflower seed. And that hurt. We were family, closer than family. Right. All of the henchmen shout agreements. It was obvious that their rage has been worked up by Double for months at this point, and now they want to get even. Alright. This is after we look through Ray's things, and we are home alone, right here, and I think we're gonna get a chance to call Double. I spend most of my day trying to research information about Binary Star, but I can't find anything of value. The sun is already beginning to set, and the restlessness sets in. After a while, I can't help but to do something about my complicated feelings at hand. Alright. So this is the one we got last time, just search information about Binary Star, but we're going to call Double. His face appears in my mind. I hate him with burning passion, but I can't ignore that he is my best bet for information at the moment. I unblock his number and then press the dial button. The phone rings and rings, but ultimately Double does not answer. I sigh and stretch out. Suddenly my phone is vibrating. I pick up the call. And what do I owe this pleasure, Moth? His voice is as smug as usual. I can practically see the mocking grin across his face. Double. Don't act so cold. You're the one that called me. Well, you're the one that tried to cut my freaking fingers off. I still might, if you keep pushing. I ignore him, determined to stick to my goal at hand. I have a question. That right? Yeah, I remember back when we worked together, you had some run-ins with Binary Star, right? Double? I'll answer your question if you answer mine first. Okay. What color underwear are you wearing right now, Cryptid? Really? Double laughs. What a piece of garbage. I should have known he was just going to mess with me. I am not answering that. So let me get this right. His voice becomes dangerously low. You call me to get some info on another guy, and you assume I'm just going to play nice. Double lets out a harsh laugh. You are truly more of an idiot than I could have imagined. I resist the urge to throw my phone across the room. The line is silent. Guess I should hang up then. I think admittedly the bottom choice is what's gonna give us the relationship points. Of course, Double is probably a pervert. Give me 1 sec. Alright, first I want to see what he says with the other two. Black? Black? Oh, very sexy. A classic. I miss seeing you in only a black little thing. Just thinking about it has me a little excited. Jeez, Double. But it's too bad. I don't believe you. What? I said I don't believe you. I can hear the smirk in his tone. Send me a picture. Are you serious? I am not doing that. Aww. All bark and no bite. Per usual, huh? I guess you don't need me to answer your question then. Jeez. Wow. This is horrible, Double. Why are you like this? I immediately get up, stripping off my top and pants. I'll show you some bite, bastard. Let me go back. Alright, let's try white. 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 I could hear the disappointment in his tone. Pretty basic, wouldn't you say? Is it at least lacy or see-through? I guess something innocent suits someone like you. What's that supposed to mean? I can hear the smile in his voice. I can come over and show you if you want. Oh, frick off. Ah, there it is. I just don't trust you, though. I don't believe you. Alright, let me go back and now say we're not wearing any. My God, Double. What makes you think I'm wearing any? Double honestly scares the shit out of me. But I'll be damned if I sit here and let him intimidate me. I decide to throw him off his balance. And what makes you think I'm even wearing any? Double is at a loss for words. Speechless, Double. I remember the last time I left you speechless. Cryptid. He mumbles under his breath. Some part of me liked that I still had some hold over him. Unfortunately for me, he is always quick to recover. I don't believe you. What? I said I don't believe you. I can hear the smirk in his tone. Send me a picture. Are you serious? I am not doing that. Aw, all bark and no bite, per usual. I guess you don't need me to answer your question then. I immediately get up, stripping off my top and pants. I'll show you some bite, bastard. After posing for a flawless ass shot paired with a tasteful middle finger, I send over the photo. Very nice. Almost exactly like I remember. Pretty. Oh my. That's not exactly a nice thing to say unless we enjoy that, but okay. Double. So what did you want to know again? Ah, right. Binary star. Double gives a short, spiteful laugh. You were so lucky you were my partner. You have no idea what I sheltered you from. You still don't. The others would come back completely traumatized from seeing their friends being ripped apart by the heroes while you knew none the better. None of the heroes ever gave a shit about any of us. And that guy, he was the worst of all. There was nothing human about those red eyes. No empathy, no guilt, just destruction without mercy. In our world, they say if you see a red flash, you're already dead. The iconic red eyes of national hero Binary Star being plastered on every TV show, every magazine has to be some kind of irony. Is that what you wanted to hear about your new boyfriend? The child from the stars? Is he really that bad? Double is quiet. I liked you, Moth. You were always a feisty little one. The others told me I was too soft on you, too sweet on you. Frick. Something foreign tints Double's tone. An uncharacteristic hint of emotion breaking through. Moth, you should think hard and make a decision. Do you want to live at the whims of a cruel, unforgiving creature? Or would you rather die? Your window to make a decision is closing. Soon it will be made for you. Even if you cry and beg, I can't come save you this time, Cryptid. Binary Star is so far removed from humanity, he might as well be from the stars. He is a creature without weaknesses. Well, I guess now he has one. And God knows he's gonna keep you on a short leash. Screw off. Double just laughs. Good luck. You're gonna need it. I'll keep your nice little picture as a parting gift. After that, the phone goes silent. Did Double really just hang up on me? Still a scumbag after all this time. I try to push his words out of my head. Do you want to live at the whims of a cruel, unforgiving creature, or would you rather die? Binary, no, Ray, surely can't be that bad. He has been nothing but kind to me. Double has told me cruel lies in the past. He is definitely just trying to psych me out. I start to feel exhausted. Ray isn't home and it's already pretty late. Part of me was thankful for his absence. Despite all of the time Ray and I have spent together, I still feel like I barely knew him. That scares me. I get into bed, resting my body against the plush blankets. My eyes close, covering me in the familiar darkness of sleep. As I dream, the smell of smoke drifts across my senses. I cough a bit, turning over. My eyes flash open as the scent of smoke permeates the area. I immediately sit up. Alright, I think for Double we go to the door. I have to do something fast. Go for the front door. I make a desperate crawling dash for the front door, Adrenaline shields me from the pain searing through my palms. I crawled towards the front door. It's open! I can escape! I thanked whatever gods may have been watching over me. Crawling out into the hallway, I was able to get some more fresh air. With adrenaline kicked in, I was up on my feet and running in no time. I sprint down the stairs and out the front door. My lungs burned as if they caught fire as well. Making my way to the street, I can't help but to find the silence odd. A fire this big and there were no emergency vehicles? I needed to find someone to call for help before the fire spreads, putting anyone else in danger. As I reached the alleyway to the main street, the adrenaline was wearing off and my legs shook, threatening to give out. I leaned up against the wall, gasping for air. I could only hear the sound of my blood rushing and my heart pounding wildly. Suddenly, a hand covered my face, and I felt a feeling that was all too familiar. My body felt the rush through time and space before collapsing into reality again. I look up, already knowing who I would find when the hand was moved from my face. What's with the nasty look? I glance around, trying to figure out where exactly Double landed us. Don't worry, I didn't phase you too far. Just far enough that we don't have to worry about any interruptions. Don't touch me. Get away from me. I back up, stumbling and catching myself over some garbage. When Binary Star finds you, he is going to do what exactly? Bring me to justice? Double cackles. It is cold and humorless. Grow a brain, honey. You should be thanking me. You are lucky I got to you first, Cryptid. Who knows what he would have done? I continue to catch my breath, glaring up at him. Binary Star would have saved me. We know this is not true. At least not with the ending we got. He might the others. He tilts his head. Double's eyes crinkle. Are you sure about that? You really can't be this ignorant, Moth. He told you, didn't he? About his abilities, or rather, ability. I look at Double. My silence speaks volumes. Then think. Use your freaking brain. Before you went to sleep, did you leave anything plugged in? When you woke up to your apartment already covered in flames, did you smell any gas? Any gasoline? Oh, of course. I kind of suspected it. I was wondering if Double did it, but Binary Star is the one who set our apartment on fire? Yeah, I expected this. My eyes widen at what Double is insinuating. How were you able to sleep through your apartment catching on fire, Cryptid? There's no way. You must have done this. Double cackles loudly. Do you hear yourself? Think, Cryptid. Who bothered you at the cafe? No. Yes. Binary Star took out the trash. And if I didn't come collect you, guess who would have been next? No, that doesn't make sense. Why would he want to kill me? Who knows what that psycho is thinking? I really shouldn't have saved you. But the thought of someone else, anyone else torching you alive didn't really sit right with me. So let's go back to old times. New city, new us. Don't worry, Cryptid. I may not be a hero, but I'll keep you reasonably safe and sound. Double laughs as if it is the funniest thing in the world. My face pales. True to Double's word, we started a new life in a new city. Although it was a new life, it felt reminiscent of old times. This time, Double wasn't keeping any secrets. I witnessed everything, for better or for worse. I would see Binary Star's face on the screen, on magazines, on big advertisements, peering down at me as if I were an ant. I could almost see the madness swimming behind the wide, iconic smile. I look over at Double. He cuts a piece of flesh off of a hero's arm. The hero screams, peering at me with pleading eyes. Double looks back at me, smiling wide. Blood splattered his face. Was trading one madness for another worth it? It was a question that swam in the depths of my chest, that crawled up my throat like bile every time Double smiled at me. I was too afraid to answer. Double approaches me, wiping the blood off of his hands with a towel. He smiles. He tells me, "Let's get out of here, Moth. The others will take care of the rest." I glance at the screaming man, more flesh being extracted. I glance back at Double, foolishly asking, is he going to be okay? A fake smile stretches across Double's face. His jaw tightens. I can tell he is upset. A paper-thin smile. Double asks, "Why? Do you care what happens to him?" To a hero. I grab Double's hand, responding, "No, I don't. Let's go." Double smiles, leaning down. He places his lips on my forehead. I can feel the blood smearing where he kisses. Our liturgical smearing of ashes. We are the same, yet so different. Double doesn't hide anything from me anymore. He expects the same in return. As we walk amongst the city streets, I don't dare look upon the oppressive stare of Binary Star. He glares down at me, accusations behind his wide smile. I refuse to look even as the red eyes dissolve into the night. After all, in Double and I's world, there was only room for us and only us. Well, still brutal. Maybe slightly nicer end for us. Alright, now I am attempting to get Haley's ending. More exciting than a minimum wage cafe employee? I can't even imagine. Hal cracks a smile, tossing their napkin at me playfully. I snatch it out of the air. "You're such a little shit, you know that?" Wow, Hal, language. I think in the onboarding videos they referred to this as a toxic workplace environment. To be fair, any place that has Miles and I working together is technically a toxic workplace environment. Well, as the middleman, I would like to formally request popcorn as an official mainstay break room snack. Maybe if you don't charge a customer $20 extra multiple times in a day, I'll see what I can do. Excuse me, I have never done that. Sorry, my standards were beaten low by previous experiences, previous people. I've been hurt before. Well, you can trust in me. I'll serve my time well as a proper middleman. If you and Miles end up legitimately brawling and destroy the place, then I probably will have to find a new job. It won't get to that. And even if it did, I could totally kick Miles's ass in 2 minutes flat. And 2 minutes isn't a ton of time to do a whole lot of damage here. My eyes narrow. In all seriousness, I prefer not to find a new job. Say you had to, though. What would you choose? I'm not sure. What do you think I'd be good at? Well, you are really good at wrangling Miles and myself, so maybe, like, a superhero? Haley was more monotone than ever, but I could tell it was an obvious joke. Alright, I'm gonna skip forward because we did have this part of the conversation. See you at the next choice. Haley turns off the TV. God, I freaking hate that guy. I glanced towards Haley. It was odd she disliked the hero so much. Most people love heroes. Why so much hate? Haley turns to me, a bit shocked. What? I thought you didn't like him either. I don't. I'm just surprised you are so passionate about hating him. I notice some of the customers are glancing over at Haley as their voice continues to get louder alongside their building passion. I agree with Haley to an extent. Heroes do have too much power. Alright. So we let Haley speak their truth last time, but the way to get points with them is calm Haley down so the customers don't hear. Haley, I touched their arm, grabbing their attention. They pause, noticing me look around the cafe at the customers who are peering curiously. Yeah, you're right. I'll shut up now. Haley sighs, pushing their hair over their shoulder. I'm right, though. Back when I was a teen, people still protested heroes. They grumble while walking away. Okay, Grandy, we know the world was different back in your day. Haley shoots a glare in my direction, but is unable to keep a completely straight face. They laugh while continuing to walk to the storage room. I'm going to go sort out some inventory in the back. If my old person back can hang in there. Maybe I'll have to ask for some help from the younglings with more energy. I point to the register. Yeah, I don't mind helping out. As long as you are cool with the till being run by a certain employee with sticky fingers and a fascination for hero collectibles. Never mind. I feel years younger. Haley walks off in their wide stride. Although their boots have heels, I can never seem to hear them click against the hard floor. I sigh, turning back on the TV. Alright, now we're gonna skip ahead. Kind of a decent amount, actually. So technically I didn't get this choice that's coming up next. We got the one that gave us raised relationship points, so let's get what's coming up here. Hey, before you go. Haley bites their lip, debating. After a couple of seconds pass, they speak up. That guy, you said his name was Ray. Well, look, I kinda get a bad feeling from the guy. So obviously this is right after Blaze leaves, and we're like, he mentioned Ray, so anyways, think what about him is the right choice? What about him? Haley rubs at their neck, looking away. I guess a feeling. Like, kinda a bad one. Something doesn't feel genuine with him. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Maybe just keep an eye out for anything that's off. I haven't seen anything weird yet. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead. Okay, this is obviously right after we saw the video footage of Binary Star holding Blaze over the edge of the building. And Haley says there's some skeletons in his closet. Definitely some skeletons. I think I got this one before, but I can't fully remember. Yeah, I mean, every human has some skeletons in their closet, so I can't be surprised if binary is any different. Yeah, I just wonder how many skeletons, you know? Haley bites their lip in thought. I just don't think heroes can be moral. And that is pretty dangerous when you have the powers that heroes do. You think too much, Hals. Heroes are just like you and me. Haley levels a glance at Miles. I really doubt that. What did you say? Nothing, Miles. When you put it like that, it's hard not to feel a little wary. I just hope there aren't too many skeletons. Yeah, same. You just gotta watch out for yourself first and foremost. I chuckle. I know, Hal. I think better than anyone. Haley quirks an eyebrow, and Cryptid skips forward because I think this is where the dialogue goes on. Despite it being my day off, I head toward the familiar view of the cafe. My heart wrenched at the thought of leaving this job. Sure, it wasn't the best job, but it was a life of normalcy for me. I truly didn't know how much I missed that. Some part of me knew that leaving Haley was going to be one of the hardest things I will have to do. So we didn't get this because we didn't have relationship points with them, but now we do. At least not enough relationship points. Despite our short time together, Haley and I have become incredibly close. When I first got hired, I was scared to form any friendships. Like a stray backed into the corner, I swayed and hissed at anyone who came too close. But Haley gave me my space. They supported me with words of encouragement. They let me lean on them until I was able to grow a backbone of my own. I have changed a lot thanks to Haley's patience and kindness. I'm sure Double was even able to sense the change in me, considering how on edge she is. I can't risk Double doing something to Haley, so I can't stay. I decide to put to use the backbone that Haley gave me. They helped and protected me at my lowest, so now I will protect them. But even so, it's heart-wrenching to lose someone who just understood on the level that Haley does. And I won't fool myself to say I didn't feel anything for them either. I walk into Cafe Waning Crescent for what is likely to be the last time. So I feel like I can't remember now, I'm not sure if I got this dialogue, but it's okay. Hal whispers. They force a smile. I'm sure it's for a good reason, Moth. I'm just really going to miss you. I thought maybe we had something. Haley suddenly becomes flustered, their face turning a light pink. They face away. Ha! Shoot, never mind. I can't believe I'm really making this more awkward than it already is. Sorry. I can't help but to smile a bit. I thought it was only me that felt something. Maybe if I stuck around longer, Hals and I could have started dating or something. I felt even more depressed at the thought of having to leave this city now. Frick. This sucks. I force a smile, unsure of what to say. Sorry, I'm just being selfish. Do what's best for you, Moth. Just know you aren't getting rid of me that easily. I can't help but to smile. I never wanted to get rid of you, Hals. Yeah, sure. Maybe someday when whatever you are running from is over, you can come back. Alright, now I'm gonna skip ahead. Alright, now we're stuck in our apartment. We have asked Ray about his abilities, and we're bored. After a while, I can't help but to do something about my complicated feelings at hand. Call Haley. I decide to give Haley a call. They warned me before that Binary Star most likely had some skeletons in the closet. Maybe they know more, or maybe they don't. But either way, Hal's comforting voice is something that I need to hear right now. The dial tone rings softly. Hello? Moth? Hi, Hal. Moth, are you okay? I tried texting you, but you never responded. I was getting worried. You kinda dropped off the face of the planet there for a minute. I'm okay. You sure? You don't sound okay. I bite my lip. Everything in me wants to run crying to Hal. But I can't be selfish. Hal essentially just lost their whole business with the chaos in the West District. The last thing I want to do is heft more stress onto them. Yeah, I guess I just missed you is all. I can hear Hal suck in air suddenly. Hal? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, me too. Are you okay? I heard a familiar voice in the background. Yo, is that Moth? Let me say hi. Wait, your face is so red. That's so funny. Stone Cold Hal down bad. Oof. A large smack sound reverberates over the speaker. Miles groans in the background. So, did you call for anything specific? Not really. Remember how you mentioned that you think all heroes have skeletons in their closets? The more powerful the hero, the more packed that closet's going to be. Why do you think that? If you have unlimited power, who will stop you? The government will do anything to protect their assets after all. What do you think about Binary Star? Once again, there is silence on the other end of the call. Please, Moth, listen to me closely. Run away from Binary Star. I did some asking, some digging, and nothing good can come from being around him. He will only cause you misery and chaos. You will never know peace again if you accept him. The best thing you can do is run as far and fast as you can. There's another pause on the other line. I have to go. Just please tell me you will leave tonight and run very, very far away. I was unable to answer, unsure what to do. Haley's tone left no question of severity of their request. I'll find you again when you are in a safe place. The phone call cuts off suddenly. Haley probably hung up. I start to feel exhausted. Ray isn't home and it's already pretty late. Part of me was thankful for his absence. I get into bed, resting my body against the plush blankets. My eyes close, covering me in the familiar darkness of sleep. As I dream, the smell of smoke drifts across my senses. I cough a bit, turning over. My eyes flash open as the scent of smoke permeates the area. Immediately, I sit up. My whole apartment is consumed by flames. I blanch. How could it have spread this much without waking me up? I have to do something fast. Think Haley is the window. I look around. The front door is too far away and the balcony door may be too heavy for me to open. The window falls into my vision. It is already partially open. It's a risky maneuver, but I'm willing to try. I crawl towards the window. Gathering my strength, I push the windowsill upwards. The momentum of the push causes me to fall backwards onto the hard floor. I curse to myself, frustration growing. Chirp, chirp, squeak. Huh? I look up and see a bat in the window. My heart drops. I need to shoot away from the fire immediately. I try to leap up, but I slip back onto the hard ground. Chirp, squeak, chirp. The bat begins to morph, to change shape. Am I hallucinating? I rub my eyes, but the morphing of the bat continues. The bat begins to take a more human shape, fur shedding into skin, wings into arms. Am I dead? No, but if we don't get out of here, you might very well be soon. Damn, I love their costume. The bat has formed into a very familiar figure. They sit across my window frame, cool and composed despite the chaos surrounding us. Their green hair sways in the wind. Despite the bat ears, a very familiar sparkle in their eyes makes it impossible not to recognize them. How? Haley smiles. They sported a catsuit and a mask. A suit like that isn't cheap. It looks even custom made. And was Haley just a bat? Moth, are you okay? Why are you? What are you? It's dangerous, you have to. My brain malfunctions and Haley laughs. I think the smoke is getting to your head. Let me get you out of here, and then I promise I'll explain everything. Haley hops through my window. They make their way over toward the balcony door. Cover your face. I do as I'm told, and in one smooth kick, Haley shatters the glass. God, you're so cool. Okay, now I know your brain has lost too much oxygen. No, we're right. You're really cool. Haley plucks me off the ground and stands me to my feet. Haley begins to morph again. Soon a large Siberian tiger is in my apartment. My face pales. Get on my back. The tiger talks in Haley's voice. I'm going to get you out of here. The tiger is Haley. I approach it cautiously. Oh my God, hurry up. The tiger, Haley, scoops me up with their head onto their back. They walk onto the balcony and back up to the very edge. Hang on as tight as you can, okay? I wrap my arms around Haley and shut my eyes. I'm putting my full faith into hell. Haley takes off into a sprint. Soon the air hits my face and we land again. I look up and see that we are on the neighbor's balcony. One more time, hang on, okay? There's another sprint, and then leap. A loud metal sound resonates as we land onto the fire escape. Haley doesn't stop moving. They continue to sprint down the stairs, never breaking stride. When they hit the soil, their gait only speeds up. I look up and even the night sky is a blur. Keep holding on until I tell you to stop, okay? I can hear Haley huff below me. I can't help but to think how soft their fur feels under my face. After some time, Haley finally slows to a stop, placing me onto the ground. Oh my God, what are you doing? I told you to keep the car running. Haley roars furiously at a certain Miles, who is standing outside beside the car. And just like that, I started living a new life with Miles and Haley in a new city. Apparently, Haley has been living a double life as an infamous villain this whole time. Well, villain isn't necessarily the correct term. Cat burglar is probably more appropriate. When I used to be a villain, Haley's alias was plastered all over magazines. Shrouded villain Chimera strikes again. But Hal never hurt anyone, always worked alone. The only reason they were labeled a villain was due to the fact that they were taking from the rich and powerful. And were they damn good at it. So good, in fact, that Miles' dad hunted Haley down and offered an incredible amount of money for Haley to take on Miles as their villain apprentice. Oh my god. Oh, and did I mention that apparently Miles comes from a long, infamous line of villainy heritage? His dad, brothers, uncles, aunts, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and so on are some of the most well-known villains of all time. Miles, of course, would rather be a hero, but good luck to anyone who tries to convince his father of that. So now, Miles, Haley, and I roll together. Sharing a small apartment, we sleep in the day, and we lurk in the night. We take what isn't ours. We funnel the money into offshore accounts, preparing to flee whenever he finds us. Because, according to Haley, it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when. Having Haley at my side, I feel like I could take on anything. I would take on anything at the chance for a future where I can keep smiling and laughing with them. With Haley at my side, things are happier, peaceful even. I found my stride again. I didn't know how much I needed them. They look at me. A familiar smile adorns their beautiful face. Falling asleep by Hal's side is a piece of heaven that I'm willing to fight for, to preserve. Be it heroes or villains. Come what may, I'm ready. That was so cute. Now I'm gonna get Ray's endings, but I think Haley's has turned out to be my favorite so far. Alrighty, now I'm going to be getting Ray's endings. The first one, it's not the bad ending, which is why I saved it for last. It's still not a good ending as far as I'm aware, so let's go. Here we are. Instead of moving away from Ray's hand, we're gonna take it, and then we will get all of his relationship points and scenes with that, and we're gonna have fun with that. Alright, take Ray's hand. I take Ray's hand. My heart thumps out of my chest. He smiles beautifully, full of cathartic hurt. I understood in that moment that I am the bone that needs to be broken in order to be set in place and heal properly. The day I met you was the first day I learned something new about myself. I learned that I could love, that I could hope to be human. Ray holds me close. His hand strokes my cheek. Thank you for letting me dream, Moth. I thought I could change, that I could be something other than human or monster. But in the end, I have a quasar that shines around me like a halo. It pulls matter from everything else around it into a single volatile ring. That ring will shred and swallow until it's had its fill. Until nothing else can be cannibalized. It will rage on and on until it fades away from existence completely. He brushes some soot off of my forehead. He pauses, looking upon my face. A moment of hesitation clouds his features. I hope you find what you are looking for. Ray, I hope you find what you are looking for. Ray looks upon my face with an indecipherable smile and a sigh. There is a sadness that lurks in his dark eyes. He brushes a tear away from my cheek. Don't cry, Moth. I will keep you with me forever. Ray takes my face into his hands. In a moment that both felt shorter than a second and longer than eternity, Ray presses his face to mine. His lips passionately gain purchase amongst my own. I push back, desperately trying to convey what words cannot. At that moment, I feel the sun. Everything radiates. My heart beats. My skin hums. I feel metamorphosis. I look at Ray. He shines. Parts of me fade, being pulled apart, shredded into dust by the star before me. Ray holds me in his arms. He kisses me desperately, between sweet, murmured words. I can taste the wet salt that runs down his cheeks and falls between our lips. He holds me tighter, wrapped in my own cocoon. I can no longer talk. I can no longer see. Soon, my mind is no longer my own. I shine with Ray, brilliance spread amongst matter and being. I fade. I am reborn. Okay, time to actually get his relationship points. Alright, so we're here, but we're gonna speak our truth about heroes without softening it. His smirk seemed to get wider. Why don't you like him? He motions his head towards the TV. Be honest, I find them somewhat uncomfortable. I bite my lip, trying to decide how honest I want to be. To be honest, something about heroes kinda makes me uncomfortable. How so? Also, by the way, I think like with Haley, we're gonna have a couple of extra / changed scenes with Ray, so yeah, look forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Something about them feels somewhat uncanny valley. Like a robot? Yeah, almost as if Binary Star smiles any harder, his face will just crack and fall to pieces. Heroes are always saying what the public wants them to say, too. Like, they know exactly what to say. I think most of them probably have PR writers. After all of that media grooming, the heroes don't even feel human anymore. I mean, I guess Binary Star isn't technically human, but you understand what I'm saying, right? The man grimaces, but nods. The child from the stars, Binary Star, that poor bastard. I bet you're right. If his face did smile any harder, it would just fall off. And underneath it would be an endless pit. The man chuckles. Or something like that, right? Nah, I'm betting it's just a robot war machine underneath the human-looking face. The military getting in on the hero game with the latest tech, huh? I can't help but laugh. Yeah, they always want the fame and fortune after all. A momentary look of softness travels across the man's face. But either way, I should probably take your order. Considering you have been standing here for like 5 minutes. The man smiles. Don't worry about it. I think I enjoy our little interactions. I grab a medium-sized cup. Anyhow, I'm gonna skip forward. See you then. Alright, so here we are. Just after the call with Double, Ray has helped us bring our groceries home because they were quote-unquote heavy. They weren't. And we are going to invite him in. Soon enough, we made it to the front door of my apartment building. Well, either way, this is me. I motion up to the apartment building. We're going to invite him in. If you have time, do you want to come up for some tea? As a thank you for the help, of course. My heart was beating and I was sure that my face was getting increasingly red. I genuinely didn't mean the invitation with any unholy intentions. But it was still such an awkward question to ask because of the implication. Ray looks genuinely surprised, almost dropping his phone. Yeah, of course. I'd love to. Bzzz. Ray's phone begins to buzz again. Ray looks visibly annoyed by the buzzing of his phone. Let me just take this real quick. He puts the phone up to his ear. Yes? Absolutely not. No. It is my day off. What? Do you have no one else? Am I really your only... He shoots a quick side glance at me. Option or something. In fact, I do have a life. Is it so hard to believe that I have plans? Well, that's too bad, isn't it? You will just have to find someone else to take it on. I'm not. Anyways, I'm hanging up now. If you call me again, this phone is getting a hole burnt into it. I'm serious. Ray hangs up and places his phone back in his pocket. He turns to me, smiling kindly. Sorry about that. Should we head up? He picks up the bags again before I'm able to. As he takes his first step, the sound of a large explosion is heard in the distance. The ground shakes with the force of the blow. Ray sighs in a frustrated manner. God damn it. Ray's phone buzzes once more and he picks it up. Just 2? Fine, I'm on my way. But you owe me. After hanging up, Ray turns to me. Sorry, Moth. Looks like I just can't escape work today. He gives a smile so disappointed that I can't help but to feel bad for him. It's okay. Maybe next time? Definitely next time. He picks up the grocery bags again. Don't worry about it. If your work is about that, I point to the giant cloud of black smoke in the distance. It's probably more important than my dumb groceries. Ray gives a slow smile, handing me the grocery bag. His eyes linger on my face as his hands brush mine slowly. Nothing's more important than your dumb groceries. Damn, he is a romantic. I'll pay you back next time, okay? He runs his hand over mine before pulling back. The small motion makes my heart flutter something fierce. Okay, thanks again for your help, Ray. He smiles. Anytime, Star. Star? He turns and walks away, giving a short wave as he goes. I put the groceries away and collapse on my bed. It was only around 4 p.m., but it felt like it was such a long day already. I can't help but to drift away into a short nap. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Maybe just keep an eye out for anything that's off. I haven't seen anything weird yet. What's weird? I feel like I almost had a heart attack. Ray somehow walked up without me even noticing. Nothing weird. We just had some, coffee lids go missing recently. Is that right? Alright, now the next choice will be to give him a cup of coffee, I believe. He suddenly looks at me and gives me a smile. Looks like I overstayed my welcome. I should probably head to work before my new phone blows up. Ray glances at Haley. Thanks. Here's some coffee before you go. Ray already begins to leave. I should grab him some coffee before he goes. Oh, Ray! I jog past Haley in a rush to grab onto his sleeve. Poor Haley. He turns to me, looking a bit surprised. Yeah? I smile at him. Wait for one more second. I jog off to the coffee, grabbing him a fresh cup of black coffee. I hope work goes by quickly for you. I hand him the cup. Ray smiles softly. Thanks, Star. He reaches his hand out as if he wanted to touch my head, but then he pauses and pulls back. I'll catch you around. Come back soon. Of course. He gives a little wink before turning and heading out. Haley gives me a long look from beside the coffee bar counter. Is there something wrong? Haley opens their mouth, about to say something, but settles on a shake of the head. Nah. Haley, sensing my skepticism, gives a reassuring smile. Oh, did I tell you? Remember the action figure that Miles was trying to get? And we are going to skip forward. Okay, so it turns out there's a little change in the interview that Ray gave. So, we are going to check that out. I glance at the headline. Inside the dazzling world of Binary Star. Curiosity gets the better of me and I flip to the interview. From Binary Star's time fighting for world peace to his new city, our favorite hero tells us everything. Everyone's favorite hero has moved home base and is more popular than ever. Today we had the chance to sit down and talk one-on-one with our favorite hero from the stars. Despite being everyone's favorite hero, you seem to have been taking on a new look recently. This new, dangerous, and dare I say, sexy look is driving fans wild. Can you tell us what inspired this change? Binary Star gives a polite laugh. Well, I just wanted to show a new side of myself to the fans. I wanted people to understand that us heroes aren't just robots. We are human too. Alright, that is the line that changed, so I'll keep going forward. I wake up with a start. Seeing my roof, feeling my bedsheets helps to ground me. When did I change into my pajamas? Oh, I helped. I yell in surprise, whipping my head towards the window. By the window leaned a casual Ray. Can I come over there? I slowly nod again, unsure if I completely meant it. Ray pushes himself off of the wall he was leaning against. He places his cigarette in the ashtray and turns towards me. He carefully sits down at the edge of my bed, and I can't help but to scoot further away from him. I'm sorry for what you had to see. I didn't want you to see me like that. Thanks for saving me. That was honestly a nightmare. I don't think I'm going to get over that for most of my life. And to be honest, I'm probably at least a bit traumatized. Ray avoids eye contact. He looks uncomfortable. I'm sorry for showing you that. I just wasn't thinking. I panicked, which is new for me. It wasn't pleasant, to say the least. I don't think I'm going to be able to rid my mind of that carnage for a long time. But without you, I'd be forever at the whims of Double, or I'd be dead. Even if I survived and he took me, long enough at the whims of Double and I'd be dead either way. So, thanks for saving me, Ray. Ray gives a small, sympathetic smile. I smile back, trying to lighten the atmosphere. Or I guess I should say, the top hero, Binary Star. Ray groans. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that me being Binary Star was something that you would never piece together. You do seem completely different from your hero persona. Ray gives me a leveled look. That guy and I have nothing in common. Well, either way, I think I like Ray better than him anyways. Ray smirks. That's a first. I open my mouth to reply, but I am cut off by a dull pain on my jaw. Ow! I rub it, realizing it's the place where Double grabbed me before. Ray comes closer. Let me see. He softly turns my face so he can see where the pain was originating from. His face falls into a deep frown. I don't think you want to look in a mirror for a couple of days. Alright, we're gonna skip a little ahead. We're gonna get some extra dialogue. I soon become taken by the exhaustion of the day and drift off to sleep. I wake up with the sense that I dreamt about Ray. I drowsily look around the room. Ray must have left for work already. Part of me was a little disappointed. The door clicks open and my eyes drift open. Still tired? Ray walks in with full hero attire on, carrying a sizable duffel bag. His expression looks more exhausted than usual. Part of his hero outfit is ripped in different areas. I grimace at a particularly nasty slash on his side. It looks worse than it is, I promise. I get up to take a closer look, but Ray quickly takes a step back. I rushed back here to check on you, so I haven't taken a shower yet. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's okay. I just can't guarantee I don't smell entirely horrible right now. Do you want to shower here? Oh, do you mind? He forces a smile. I'm going to... He gestures towards the bathroom. Yeah, of course. He saunters towards the bathroom. A couple of seconds later, Ray speaks through the door. Hey Moth. Yeah? I approach the bathroom door. Do you mind helping me with something? It's nothing weird. Sure. Do you want me to come in? Yeah. I open the bathroom door to see Ray hunched over the sink. I eye the gash on his side, red and angry looking. I can't reach the top part of that well. Do you mind cleaning it? Ray looks awkwardly away. You can say no if you want. I walk towards Ray and grab the bottle of hydrogen peroxide from his hand. I cleaned the wound as thoroughly as I could. Ray doesn't even flinch at the touch of hydrogen peroxide. He sighs. Thanks, Moth. No problem. I'm going to take a shower now. Oh, right. I'll get out of your hair. As I open the door, it suddenly closes by a weight behind me. I turn around and see Ray looming over my body. He stares intensely, his face coming even closer. He pauses just as his breath drifts across my face. Ray lifts a hand to my face, brushing his thumb across my cheek. He then holds up a small black hair that must have been sitting on my face. My face heats up. Oh no, we had a cat hair on us. Oh no. There was a cat in here earlier and a cat on the 5th floor. I blanch, unsure how to explain it. Maybe a neighbor let it out? A silence drifts between us. Some dark emotion shifts under Ray's eyes that I can't quite place. I glance down at the gash on Ray's side. The red is starting to bloom and run. Was I too rough? Does it hurt? Before I can process what is happening, Ray grabs my wrist, pressing it deeply into his side. Sir, what are you doing? That's gonna hurt. I can feel the bandages grow damp with blood under the pressure of my hand. He looks at me, completely expressionless. His dark eyes seeming bottomless. I try to yank my hand away, but he only presses it deeper into his side, my fingers digging into the wound. Stop! I yelp, beginning to feel a bit sick by his flesh slowly being parted by my fingertips. He lets go of my wrist. I instinctively take a step back, cornered into the door. No, Moth. Nothing you can do will ever hurt me. Nothing can hurt me. This is the price I pay for protecting humanity, while you play with cats. Jealous much? His tone sounded almost sardonic. I wasn't really sure what he meant. I tried to search his face, but it remains expressionless. Ray's cool gaze never once leaving my own. So, are you joining me then? Ray reaches to the shower, turning it on. You are such a little something. It's not our fault we didn't get a chance to leave. You seem to take your sweet time leaving, so I assume you want a show or something. A smirk drifts across Ray's face as he starts to pull down the rest of his jumpsuit that sits loosely at his waist. Jerk, I mumble, leaving the bathroom. Ray chuckles as the door clicks shut. I can hear Ray give a tired sigh as the shower water hits his body. Having the national hero binary star in my small apartment felt Surreal. The high standard set for all heroes past and present currently in my shower. Not as Binary Star, but as Ray. The same Ray that would stop in for black coffee looking like he hasn't gotten an ounce of sleep for at least a week. The same Ray that would skeptically try a green latte, who would carry my groceries for me. To be honest, I wasn't sure exactly how to feel. They seemed like two completely different people, yet the evidence was clearly in front of me. Who are you, Binary Star? The sun continues to set a brilliant red, closing in on nighttime. Okay, the next scene will be coming when we go to sleep, so see you then. Ray gets up, positioning himself against the familiar wall. You should get some sleep. It's late, and your body is probably still healing from the shock. Some part of me does feel nervous about Ray in my very small apartment. He smirks at me, and I look away quickly, remembering that he can read my thoughts. He lights a cigarette. Get some sleep, Star. I'll watch over you until my shift. Alright, this is somewhat suggestive. I assume it's going to be no worse than the fanfiction scene, so let's check it out. Ray, I can't sleep alone. He looks shocked. Well, not shocked, but kind of like, what? Okay. Excuse me? I'm too scared to sleep alone. So, can you sleep with me? You stare at Ray pleadingly. Ray sighs. He puts out his cigarette and closes the window. He approaches the side of the bed. I have to report to the office in a few hours, so I won't be able to stay all night. Just till I fall asleep. Please, Ray. I give my biggest pleading eyes, and Ray sighs. Fine, scoot over. Ray takes off his outer sweater, making a comment about how it smelled like smoke. I scoot over, leaving room for the chronically tired-looking man. The bed dips as Ray gets in. Once in the bed, he props his head up on his hand, looking down at me. He is so pretty, I can't get over it. He looks awkward and somewhat uncomfortable. He shifts his gaze away, avoiding eye contact. I continue to gaze at him. He pushes my face away lightly. Stop. You are so far away. I can't. Why are we like this? Every time we're weird. I'm so cold. It's so cold. It's almost like I'm all alone. I feel like maybe I'll get scared again. Ray groans. Don't give in to us, Ray. We're being annoying. I hit my desk. I'm sorry if you heard that. Fine. He wraps an arm around my waist, easily pulling me closer into him. He is blushing. His chest feels firm and warm, padded by his sweater. So that's what you were hiding under that frumpy sweater, Mr. Ray. It's not frumpy, and don't think stuff like that when you are this close to me. Hey, it's not like I asked you to read my thoughts. It's not like I want to. It's hard not to when you are this close. Pervert. Oh, he's finally smiling. Perfect. Exhibitionist. I laugh out loud. Ray ruffles my hair. Stop being a brat and get some sleep. I muster up all the sarcasm I can. Yes, sir. Ray leans in, his hot whispered breath rushing over the shell of my ear. You are stepping on my last ounce of self-control, Moth. Ray's tone was steeped in warning. I sigh in defeat. Fine, I'll stop. Good. Ray pats my head slowly, weaving his fingers into my hair. His other arm wrapped firmly around my waist. With the comfort of Ray right next to me, I'm able to drift off to sleep. When I wake up in the next morning, Ray is nowhere to be found. I stretch and get up. I spot a note on the bedside table. I left some breakfast for you in the fridge. Please refrain from going outside. If you have to, call me first. Rest up, Moth. I'll see you again tonight. I notice an additional note at the bottom. Yes, I didn't get a single wink of sleep, thanks to somebody. I won't name names. I spend most of the day sitting around reading and flipping through TV. I am going to skip forward. I get up and get ready to go to sleep. I lay down in the bed, hyper aware of Ray's presence, but he stands looking out the window. After a while of failed attempts to fall asleep, I look towards Ray. Ray? He glances at me. Can you cuddle with me until I fall asleep? A small smile plays on his lips as he puts out his cigarette. Sure. He walks over, taking off his sweater. The bed dips and he drapes an arm around my waist. There was some comfortability with Ray that I wasn't used to. With him, I felt safe. I think about the special I watched earlier in the day. Ray? Yeah. Was being with Steel Sheriff hard? Ray sucks his teeth in thought. It certainly wasn't easy. He wasn't a good person. Probably still isn't. We don't talk anymore. When was the last time you talked? Maybe 6 years ago or so. He was my guardian for about 11 years. Steele was a deeply troubled person that hurt people wherever he went. Ray looks at my worried expression. He ruffles my hair with a sympathetic smile. Don't worry, he couldn't hurt me. He tried once and learned his lesson. Since that day, he lost interest in messing with me. Steele is the kind of trash that only punches down at people who won't fight back. The minute I turned 18, I left Steele for good. The NAHA was formed to figure out the PR spin for the situation. I think they landed on something like Binary Star paving his own path towards herodom. Something like that. Did you have a hard time with Double Vision? I chew my lip in thought. Double wasn't always bad. He was very courteous to me most of the time. But things started to go bad, and then didn't stop snowballing. I think maybe he was manipulative and violent all along, but because it wasn't pointed at me, I refused to look, and other people got hurt because of that. I sigh and Ray pulls me closer. He runs a hand through my hair, comfortingly. The way he was in the warehouse, it was never that bad. Before I had an inclination that he was capable of killing me. Now I know for sure that he is. It will be okay. I promise I will keep you safe. I glance up at Ray, who gives me a little smile. Why are you doing all of this, Ray? You have no obligation to spend all of your time watching over me. I'm thankful for your help, but I don't really understand your motives. Ray levels a look at me. A silence crosses over us as Ray studies my face. You don't have to say why if you are uncomfortable. Sorry. Ray places his hand on my cheek, pulling it softly so I face him. He looks at me quietly, softness passing through his eyes. Moth, I love you. What? I'm in love with you, Moth. From the first moment I saw you, I fell for you. Every interaction with you after that only served to further solidify my love for you. I wanted to make you love me, too. Ray gives a self-deprecating laugh. But I suppose I'm no good at making people love me without a PR team. My mouth hangs open, face heating up at the bold confession. You don't have to respond. I'm not looking for affirmation. I just thought you should know the significance I hold you in. If I lose you, I might as well lose everything. If you are gone, the world will crumble. That's kinda dramatic. I won't apologize for how I feel. I gaze up at Ray. It feels somewhat surreal that Ray, binary star, just confessed his love for me. I continue to stare and his face starts to blush, and he looks away. What is it? Nothing. You really love me? Don't repeat it while staring at me like that. He's embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. You are so insufferable. I laugh, and Ray's expression softens up. He touches my face again, looming ever closer. You are so unbelievably perfect. Moth, can I kiss you? My heart leaps out of my chest. Ray's face is so close to mine. I could almost feel the heat rolling off of his skin. I'm just gonna say yes. I nod slowly, and Ray's hand moves to the base of my head. He leans in softly, pushing his lips into mine. His fingers weave into my hair, and I can feel him sigh. When I don't pull back, Ray deepens the kiss. My heart is hammering in my chest. I become greedy at the sensation of Ray's lips gently colliding into my own. I want to taste him. My fingers reach up, wrapping into the collar of Ray's shirt. I pull him closer. His hand tightens in my hair in response to my action. I push my tongue against his lips, and he parts them, brushing his tongue against my own. He groans and pulls back, a small smile forming on his lips. I look up at him, hungry. We should probably stop, or I will have a harder time stopping myself later on. His black eyes are filled with warning. Okay, fine. Good, thank you. He leans down, placing a kiss on my forehead. You should try and get some sleep. You look exhausted. I look exhausted. Ray, you look like you haven't slept in weeks. I don't really get much sleep. Do you think you can sleep in with me tomorrow? Ray gives a little smile. We will see. Try to get some sleep, Star. You too, Ray. I cuddle into him, and his arms tighten around me. With the comfort of Ray's tight hold, I fall asleep in no time. I wake up as something tickles my cheek. My eyes readjust and I glance over. By the way, this is after that phone call he had in the middle of the night, but Ray snoozes near me soundly. I try to get up, but his arms are wrapped tightly around my waist. He mumbles something and nuzzles the top of my head. Ray. 5 more minutes. Ray! His eyes flutter open. When he realizes his hold on me, his face goes pink and he scrambles up. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I usually don't. It's okay, you were pretty out of it there. Ray stretches, his toned body brushing against the thin black shirt. Yeah, I honestly haven't slept that soundly in ages. I'm surprised I even woke up. That makes 2 of us. Ray gets out of bed, yawning. Do you mind if I take a shower? No, not at all. Don't worry, I'll be out of your hair soon. He retreats into the bathroom, and now we're gonna look through his stuff and find the picture. As I am returning everything to the duffel bag, a wallet tumbles out, flopping against the floor. Anyways, it's us. I shove the picture back inside of the wallet and bury it back into the bag, zipping it up just how it was before. I lay myself casually onto the bed, pretending to read a book that has been sitting on my nightstand for over a month at this point. A couple of minutes later of pretend reading, Ray exits the restroom. This time, instead of smoking a cigarette, he is fully focused on me. His intense look makes me squirm. So you were digging through my stuff for something? Did you have fun reading through my notebook? I would have read it for you if you asked me nicely. Ray levels a look at me. It seems like you are unnerved by me on some level. That you don't trust me. He pushes himself off of the wall and walks towards me. So, ask me whatever you want. If you ask, I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know, Moth? Why do you have a photo of me? That gets relationship points with him. Why do you have a photo of me in your wallet? A photo from 3 years ago? Do you remember what you were doing in that photo? I try and think back. What was I doing during that time 3 years ago? My eyes widen. I was robbing a house. I looked panicked at Ray. I'm not going to turn you in or anything, dummy. At that time, I was on my way to my next assignment when I saw you break into the house of Legislator Keck. Yeah, that's a good name. I was going to quickly take care of you, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It was an odd feeling. Before that moment, I never really had any issues getting rid of criminals. I truly believe that if someone commits a crime, they are opening themselves up to punishment. That the world was better off without them. But that day, something changed. I kept watching you run around, playing with the cat, and something in me just couldn't compute that you were a criminal. His eyes peer into mine. You had a bag of everything you came there for in hand. All the jewels, money, blackmail. So without a doubt, you were a criminal. But I couldn't get myself to dispose of you. So I became curious. I kept trying to predict where you would hit next, just so I could catch a glimpse at you. Sometimes I was right, sometimes I was wrong. Stalker. Ray laughs. I guess I became a little obsessed. You broke my ideals and I had to figure out why. Why didn't you say anything? I couldn't just talk to you. If you, a petty criminal, knew that you were on Binary Star's radar, you would have disappeared from the city, possibly even the country the next day. But eventually, you disappeared anyways. By that time, I didn't realize how much of me depended on you. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. You were all I thought about. You had become my binary star. And without you, my balance was off. I became a zombie during my day. I would just smile and say what they wanted me to. And at night, I sought you out. I finally found you 3 weeks ago. I transferred to work in this city. I purchased a condo. I formulated the perfect plan to meet you. You were never supposed to figure out that I was Binary Star. I was hoping that you would either fall for me or Binary Star, not both. Ray sighs and rubs his forehead in frustration. I just didn't expect your old partner to also try and chase you down too. And now I know he truly won't stop until he is 6 feet under. Ray levels an intense gaze at me. After 3 years, I came to the conclusion that you are what matters. Not crime, not justice, not criminals or villains or civilians or even Earth itself. It's you, Moth. Ray levels his gaze at me so closely, I feel like I could hear his heartbeat if I focused hard enough. Moth, I promise I will keep you safe. I may not be the perfect shining hero from the stars that everyone claims I am, but I will be your hero. I'm not sure how to respond. Some part of me knows thank you isn't an appropriate response for the situation. Ray can sense the conflicting expressions that drift across my face. I know that was probably a lot. I'll let you rest. He pauses as if he wants to say something, then decides just to leave with a wave. Ray gathers his stuff and exits my apartment. Alright, we are going to skip forward to the end. Ray isn't home and it's already pretty late. I can't help but to wonder if it is because of our discussion earlier. It certainly left off on an awkward note. A bit of sadness stung in my heart. Despite everything, some part of me still trusted Ray. I get into bed, resting my body against the plush blankets. My eyes close, covering me in the familiar darkness of sleep. As I dream, the smell of smoke drifts across my senses. I cough a bit, turning over. My eyes flash open as the scent of smoke permeates the area. I immediately sit up. My whole apartment is consumed by flames. Alright, we're gonna go for the balcony door. Okay, so this is one of the endings. I could actually get the Quasar ending doing this too if I sprinted, and then there's a split between the endings, but we're fine with the Quasar ending having come before all of this. Binary Star, help me! I knew things were going bad fast. I yell out his name with all the force I can manage. Binary Star, help me! Less than a moment later, a gust of fresh air bursts past me from my balcony. I look up, and the shining hero stands before me. He reaches out his hand towards me, smiling kindly. He is radiant, even amongst the smoke and flame. Despite the destruction around me, I feel no semblance of fear. I'm here to save you, Moth. Without hesitation, I grab his hand. Pulling myself up, I throw myself in his arms, hugging him with the remainder of strength in my body. He freezes, surprised by my action. Binary Star clears his throat and shifts his gaze to the side in a feeble attempt to hide how red his face is. After a few seconds of patting my head awkwardly, he shifts back. He squats lower, settling his forearm under my bum. Binary Star easily lifts me up, securing my back with his other hand. He steps out onto the balcony, looking at me with a coy smile. Hold on tight. Suddenly, we are flying through the starry sky, his iconic red cape trailing behind. The night air is brisk as he flies past skyscrapers and stars. Soon enough, he settles me down onto a high balcony in the middle of downtown. You can see the whole city from here. That's kind of the point why they placed me here. He opens up the doors and beckons me inside. My jaw drops. This is your apartment? Condo, but yes. He smirks. Glad you like it. This is where you will be living from now on. What? Unless you want to go back to your apartment, which I wouldn't personally recommend in its current state. He walks up to me, looking down at me with a serious expression. Plus, here I can keep you safe. I know where you are. I guess that makes sense. I promise not to impede. I'll be out of here right when I get a new apartment. Also, sorry if the music was a little loud. I turned it down on my capture, but I don't know when it became a little louder. An indecipherable look passes across Ray's expression, and I could almost swear I heard him chuckle. He turns away, walking into the apartment. We will see about that. What did you say? He turns around, smiling his signature radiant smile. Nothing. Come, let me show you around your new home, Star. I couldn't help but to follow him. He led me as if a gravitational pull kept us together. Part of me knew that something didn't feel entirely right. By then, I was already too enthralled by the hero. The way he shined, I couldn't help but to orbit around him. Alright, now we are going to get the Ray ending. Sprint towards the balcony. I make my way towards the balcony door. It is the closest to me, so it only takes a few seconds to get to. When I reach out to the doorknob, I can feel the heat even before touching it. I reach towards the door, crawling on my knees. My body heaves and coughs, unable to relieve my lungs of the soot. As my vision begins to fade, suddenly a rush of fresh air hits me. I'm disappointed in you. Binary Star looks down at me, radiant as ever. Even in these circumstances, he glows. You would really rather die than ask me to save you? I'm unable to answer, all of my words being swallowed by coughs and desperate, greedy gasps for the sudden influx of fresh air. Binary Star smiles kindly. His words do not match his expression. I debated leaving you here, watching the life fade from your eyes, unshackling myself from humanity once and for all. But it seems I'm really struggling with that decision. So I'll give you a chance to make that decision for me. He approaches, smiling as kind as ever. I struggle to my feet to meet the hero eye to eye. Why? I choke out between coughs. To be frank, I'm tired of being a paragon for humanity. But you see, Moth, I'm having a hard time finding the will to fight for humanity, to save them. And the only thing that would make me even remotely want to. He glances downward at me, but his silence falls thick. To be honest, at this point, I'd just rather watch it all burn. The binary star hero sheds his mask. He is Ray. Despite it all, they are one and the same. He reaches his hand out towards me. Ray is shining brighter than ever, lighting up the whole room with his divine glow. Alright, we're gonna take Ray's hand. I take Ray's hand. My heart thumps out of my chest. He smiles beautifully, full of cathartic hurt. I understood in that moment that I am the bone that needs to be broken in order to be set in place and heal properly. The day I met you was the first day I learned something new about myself. I learned that I could love, that I could hope to be human. Ray holds me close. His hand strokes my cheek. Thank you for letting me dream, Moth. He pauses, looking upon my face. A moment of hesitation clouds his features. I look up at Ray. The top one will go back to the Quasar ending, so save me, Ray. I give Ray a bold look. Save me, Ray. You told me to call out to you for help. Now I am. I don't want Binary Star to save me. I don't want him. I want you. I'm asking you, Ray. I want to stay with you. I don't want oblivion. I don't want silence. I don't want a greater purpose. I want you. I want to be with you. Human or monster, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You will never trust me. I can't help but to laugh, even in these circumstances. Ray, after everything, do you really expect me to be able to trust you? You hardly have ever given me a reason to trust you. But I can tell that you care for me, and all I know is some part of me does love you, and I don't want to throw that away because of some uncertainty. I want to try and learn to trust you, the real you. Ray looks at me like he doesn't quite know what to say. I want to go on normal dates with you. I want to get in fights, cry, apologize, laugh, have awkward misunderstandings. I want to surmount differences together. All this time, you have been what people want you to be. But the truth is, I don't want you to be anyone. I want to grow into someone with you. Even if I am not the hero binary star that you want. I fell for Ray in the coffee shop, not the edited hero on the magazine. And I'm not ready to give that up yet. So please, give us a chance to figure this out together. Please, hold on a bit longer. Defend this planet a bit longer. Please. Don't give up on this. On us. I entangle our fingers together. Ray is silent as he watches me. His shoulders slump into a tired posture. He gives a deep exhale of air. I promise I will make you the best black coffee. Ray's eyes crinkle. That is an offer I can't turn down. This is a money-back guarantee, right? He squeezes my hand lightly. I crack a smile, even under these circumstances. Always. In an instant, Ray places a sweet kiss on my lips. He lifts me up easily into his arms. Ray? I gasp in shock. What? He looks down at me with a coy smirk. I'm really craving some exclusive moth splat coffee right now. Aren't you? His face is so close to mine, I can't help but look away. He chuckles. Wrap your arms around my neck and hold on tight. I do as I'm told, and in an instant, we are in the air flying. The night sky is beautiful, but the cold air makes me shiver. Ray holds me a bit tighter, draping his iconic cape over my back. Ray is still an enigma to me. Some part of me thinks I will never quite understand him. But for the first time, we have some semblance of understanding between us, and it makes me want to learn more about who Ray is. I want to discover the bad, the good, and the deep dark shadows that are cast from his luminosity. I close my eyes, squeezing Ray tight, hoping, praying to anyone for a future that is kind. Oh my god, that was a good one. I love that. Alright, this video has become incredibly long. So, because there are after stories, I will give my review after the after stories, so that there's not 5 extra minutes of this already over 3-hour long video. But I want you to know that I am very much in love with this visual novel. And if you made it this far, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of these endings as much as I did, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of me but you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye!